Alright, so after watching the Snyder Cut of Justice League, I wanted to rebuild my Justice League team again. Just want to put in the best figures out there in order to give me the best looking team. And I think I have it here. I mean, there might be a bit here and there I could mess with, but for the most part, this is my team right here. So I'm gonna go over which which line I went for with each character, and show you guys how I put this team together. So let's start off with Aquaman. So here I have two Aquamans. The one on the left is from Mafex, and the one on the right is from Mezo. And you could clearly see the Mezo one, or the right one, on the right. That one is a lot bulkier, and it definitely doesn't have any joint showing, but he is kind of on the chunky side. I don't remember him being that wide in the film. Even if he's wide in the film, the proportion wise on this figure just doesn't really match up perfectly. You can see how wide the shoulders are. You can see the shoulder pads are so far out that it leaves a giant gap in between the arm and the torso. On this side it's not that noticeable, but on this side it's quite noticeable. And with the added shoulder pad, I think it made him even wider. And body, I do like this one quite a bit, because all the joints are hidden and he has a undersuit on, which you can't tell. It's really nicely hidden, because it has a almost exact same color as the outer armor. So it's the joints are well hidden, and the head sculpt is pretty nice actually. And but it's just a little too wide for me. So I went and purchased the Mafex version, and I do like the body proportion of this one quite a bit. Granted, you do see all the joints, all the separations of the joints, but you can see the body proportion wise, shoulders aren't sticking out quite a bit more, and a slimmer body, and overall I think body proportion is just better than the Mezo. If you look at them side by side, you can clearly see the difference between the two. But when it comes to head sculpt, I mean, the head sculpt of this one it's okay, not the greatest. I do prefer this head sculpt a little bit more because the hair is not as poofy. And if you mess with this figure, you can see, you could even tell from the side, you can see how much gap it's given to this head sculpt here. So it doesn't touch the body at all. I guess I understand why they did it this way, so it gives him a little more range of motion for the head. But from the side, you can see there's a huge gap from the back of his hair to his body, and same with the side here, right there. So it's definitely not as pleasing to look at. Then I went ahead and put the Mezo head onto the Mafex body, and I think this turned out perfect for our Aquaman figure. And the head doesn't even look too big either. I was thinking that the head of this one might look a little big on this body because this is a skinnier body, but I think it turned out great. And the hair does flow quite well onto the body here. The back is not as long, and then just not a whole lot of gap you see in between the head and the body itself. But the head sculpt doesn't fit this neck joint quite well, because as you might all know, Mezo has a giant ball joint for the head, and this one, the Mafex, does not. So right now the head is just sitting on the neck. So if you use some of those sticky tack, you should be able to fix that problem, but not permanently. You don't want to fix it permanently, otherwise you won't be able to move the head at all. So I think this is the ultimate Aquaman. I would put it in my team. And as for Wonder Woman, I have chosen the 1984 Wonder Woman because she does have the best likeness to Gal Gadot. There is a third-party head sculpt out there, which I'll show you right now. Alright, then on the right side here's the third-party head sculpt for Wonder Woman, right here. I mean, it doesn't look like the actress at all, but it is a good-looking female head sculpt. And the skin tone, you might not be able to tell right now, but it is a little bit off. Let me see if I brighten it up a little bit. The head is a little darker than the rest of the body, but not by much. So it turned out quite nice for this figure. This is the Mezco Wonder Woman body, and but it's definitely not as pretty as the SHF. But it is a little bit taller, which will fit the team a little bit better. But I ended up choosing the SHF 84 Wonder Woman because she is the best looking. If she's a little taller, I would have been a little happier, but she's not. But this one, the head it's almost perfect, a little bit tinier, a little bit tiny, but likeness is definitely not there, but it is a good looking Wonder Woman head sculpt. I'll just say that. And the body of the Mezco one, not the greatest. That's why you can still buy this figure, because the body is just not that great. The hips are so loose that it's hard for her to stand, and the head sculpts Mezco created just does not look like her at all. And with Superman, I have two to choose from. One is from Mezco. Well, this is a knockoff version of Mezco Superman. The head sculpt is a third-party head sculpt. I believe is Nora head sculpt. And same with this one. This is the SHF. Of course, it's a lot shorter. You could tell SHF are usually a lot shorter. I mean, the shininess of this armor is really nice. The outfit has that metallic sheen to it, which they had in the film. I like that, but it's just way too small. Look at that. In comparison with the knockoff Mezco, you can see how short he is in comparison. Head sculpt is nice because again, it is a third-party head sculpt. I just don't like the SHF version. That one is terrible looking, and this one. Again, I believe this is Nota, Nota. Their head sculpt is amazing of Superman, and so is this one. Turned out great, and sticking with this one until we get the black suit Superman. I pre-ordered that off Mezco. They had a 3-pack with Superman. Flash. Wait, what was it? Or was it 2-pack? I'm not sure. I forgot. I think it was a 2-pack only. It was a Flash and Superman 2-pack. It has the Mezco Flash and then a black suit Superman, which I am very happy they're making, because then I won't have to use this a knockoff version. I mean, it does look nice, but you can't do a whole lot with this one, and I'll definitely put the head of this over to the black suit Mezco body, because that's gonna turn out, that's gonna make that Superman amazing looking. And as for Batman, I have two to choose from. On the left we have the Mezco, and then on the right we have the SHF. I mean, no, not SHF, Mafex. And two are, look at those two, they're exact same height, which I like. The Mezco Batman is a little wider, a little thicker than I like. I think the Mafex one turned out great. The intensity of this Batman was fantastic. Okay, had to readjust his neck so it doesn't look like there's a bulge jetting out of his neck there. So here's what he looks like. Articulation wise, he's good. Joints are okay, not the tightest. I wish they stopped using ball jointed hips, but they're still using them, so it's a shame. But yeah, this figure does look great, and this one as well. I mean, Again, this one has a rounder face too. Look at that. So much rounded in this one. And I could go either way, but I think the Mafex one turned out a little bit better as far as detailing. But I do like when joints are hidden with the bodysuit over it. Look at that. Everything is hidden. So I like, that's why I like Mezo so much, because all the joints are hidden. But they still need to work on the head sculpts a little bit more. So I think at the end I will go with Mafex Batman for the team, at least for now. And as for Flash, currently we have two to choose from. One is the one on the left is the SHF, and the one on the right is the Mafex. And the Mafex has a very light skin tone. See right there, he has a very light skin tone. The SHF is definitely a lot darker. And as for the suit itself, I think accuracy, I think the Mafex one is definitely better. The abdominal section, the color is off. This one is redder, which I don't think is accurate. I think the Mafex had it correct, which is a little bit of a darker, almost like a dried up blood type of color, instead of this somewhat brighter red. And overall the height, I think they're pretty much the same. Minor differences between the two, not by a lot. And I could go either way with this. The joints on the Mafex is a little looser. Around the hips and the shoulders, they're a bit looser than what I like. I like the SHF a little bit better because they're a little tighter. Just feel a little more solid. But here you can see the detailing. Those lines on his armor are painted nicely. Everything's showing up. But on this one, look at the shoulders. They're not as visible as the Mafex. It's just everything. It's just a little. It pops a little bit more on the Mafex. But I ended up choosing the SHF because the joints are tighter and it just feels a little bit more solid than the the Mafex. And lastly, we have a Cyborg, and this is the Mafex version. This is the only version we have. I think, yeah, this is the only version we have, except if you want to go with the Mattel one, which I don't care for that one at all. I'll go with this one, and I think overall this one turned out quite nice. Design wise, it's nice. Execution, a little to be desired, because it does have a lot of loose joints. The hips are loose. The shoulders are loose. And then I think the torso is a bit loose too, and it just didn't turn out great. But this is the only one I have, and I am still happy with this one because I'm just having them standing, so he serves its purpose, and that's all he needs to do, just stand there. And I don't. McFarlane's coming out with the Justice League, but I don't think they turn out great though. Cyborg, I think is okay. The worst one of them all is the Aquaman. The head is just so tiny, and the hairstyle is just ugly. But hopefully in person they'll look better. They didn't create another Wonder Woman. I don't know why they didn't make another Wonder Woman for the Justice League. So hopefully they'll do that one. But they do have the Steppenwolf and Darkseid, which I like. Those two are absolutely great. But the rest of the team, I don't know. I have to wait until they're out first before I could tell you whether they're good or not. But that's the so this is pretty much the Cyborg I'm going with. So there you have it. Here's my Justice League team. And Wonder Woman is a bit too short. Yes, I wish she was a little bit taller. That would have made her perfect. That would have made the team perfect, because Flash is a little bit shorter than the rest of the characters, but Wonder Woman, I think she needs to be a little bit taller. Otherwise, I think this is a perfect team. I couldn't go with the SHF Superman in this team here because everyone else is pretty tall, and if I put the Superman from SHF, he'll be quite short. So overall, this is my team that I'm going with on display, and let me know if you guys agree, and yeah, thanks for watching.